All right, I am going to try to make another video, a short one on testing. I've recreated the the Tech Review 2 that we did in class. So this should work this time. So testing is an important part of building any kind of application. And anytime you work in an environment where people are having you build these, they will want you to test all of the different aspects of it. Testing can be complicated and it can take a lot of work, but we're only going to just show the gist of it. So there is in your folder a test py, right? It's part of the app. So if we go down there, there's tests py. If you open it, you'll see from Django test import test case. We're going to import another thing. I'm going to say from .models import. And I'm going to import the product model. Why is it not showing the models? Oh, it says I said form instead of from. From models, import product, and we'll do product type too. Won't worry about review right now. Okay, so when you test, you put the tests inside of a class. This class I'm going to call product test. And it inherits that test case. So the first thing we're going to test is just does it return what it's supposed to for the string function. It's not a very exciting test, but it will give the basic idea here. So I'm going to test underscore string output. One thing that's important here is that all the tests need to start with the word test. They all have to start with test. The underscore isn't necessary, but I think it makes it clearer. So then they will all have self as the parameter. So I am going to say product, lowercase, remember case matters. It equals product, a new product. And we're going to give the product one of its properties. We're going to say the product name equals the Lenovo laptop, right? Remember that it's supposed to return the name. That's what the string method is supposed to do. So we are going to do self.assert equal. You might notice that there's a lot of different asserts there. All right, so you can assert that things don't equal something. You can assert something's greater than or something's less than. The assert is the test. So I'm going to do a string of product, my instance of the product class. And we're saying that the result of that will be exactly the same as the product name. So I'm going to say product name. So that's the test. Does this, when you do a string, basically like print, when you print the product up, does it return the product name? So down here in the command line, I am going to do Python 3, manage py, and I'm going to say test. We will run that. Notice it creates a test for the alias default. It says that there were no issues. It ran one test and it was okay. If there are errors, it will show you. If it says okay, then that means the test passed. Let's do one more test here. So this will be another def in here because it's a test of the same class. Again, it has to start with a test. And I will do test table name. So we're going to test whether or not the table name is what we said. Now, we kind of know this already, but and it's just to get the syntax of this. So we're going to assert equal, and then we're going to turn product dot, and then we want to do an underscore. And you can see there's lots of different things here that we could test. And we're going to test meta DB table. I'm not seeing it in the IntelliSense, but I do believe that it will work. And we're going to say that it is going to be equal to product. And this should be in quotes. Let's see if that works. So, we need to save the file. And then let's do the testing again. So it ran 2 tests, and they were both okay. Now you could do a similar test for every class in the model. You can also test specific things about the model to make sure that things are correct about how the model behaves. I'm just going to leave it at this for right now. And then we'll do a simple test of the index. So this will be testing a view. And again, these can be much more complex, and we will do things that are a bit more complex later. Right now, I just sort of want to get that. So I'm going to do, same as before, class. And I'm going to say test index. And it will also inherit test case. This is an aside. It's really important to be case sensitive here. I had some tests that weren't running, and it was just because I had not capitalized the C in test case. So let's do def. We'll do test view URL accessible by name. All right. And self. It's not a built-in thing. That's basically, we just want to do, so we're going to do response equals self client get, and we want reverse in quotes index. One other thing we need to do about this, way up at the top, is we need to import reverse. So I'm going to say from Django.urls import reverse. Okay, so we can use it down here. And then we need to assert down here self assert equal so what we're going to do is we're going to look for the response status code. So status code, and we'll look for 200. All right, a couple of things about that. 200 means everything's okay. Right? In the pages, I gave you a link to where it lists all the different status codes. So let's save this and run this view, or this test. Notice it'll run all 3 tests. It says it ran 3 tests and they're all okay. I'm going to do one more, and then that'll be all that I'm going to do here. So I'm going to test that it uses the correct template. Def. So I'm going to do test view uses correct template. The names here don't have to be this way. They do have to start with test, but you can name them whatever you want. So I'm going to do response. Def needs to be over 1. And so does response. All right, response equal self client get reverse index. So it's actually the same part so far. So the first part is actually exactly the same. Not sure if I need to do that. So I'm going to just do self assert template. Why is it assert template used? Response. I'm just looking to see why. Response, comma. Oh, I spelled client wrong. I think that's why. And we're going to do tech app index.html. Where is that going? Slash index.html. Let's see if that works. It may not. File save. We run the tests. It ran 4 tests and it found no issues and no falseness. So basically, all of these tests work. Now, we've only run 4 tests, and probably you should run hundreds, and there should be a lot of other things you test. But this is just to give you an idea of how the testing works. And you can run the ideas that you would build these as you go along. And at the end, you would want your tests, all your tests to run and pass. You also can test for things that you want to not pass, like bad entries and things like that. We'll do more with testing as we go on, but this is just the brief introduction. This time it works, so I will save this video and I will post what we've done to GitHub. So hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Hope this helps. Take care. All right, where is it? Right there.